Hello, 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 hello. How are you? This is Elsa from Bemis Crafty Corner, and I have a project for us today. This is sort of a beginner's project, I've been doing this for about 4 or 5 months. I think I can do this kind of project, so it is a beginner's. Um, and it's this little tag, okay? But this tag is a little bit different. Normally when we make a tag, we cut the tag shape, we cut a piece for the background so that we can write on the back and to make the tag a little thicker. And then, we cut out some die cuts or some shapes or something, and we get out our stickers and ephemera and we decorate it. Well, this is going to do that all in one, okay? So if you have some paper and you're going to be making some die cuts, we're going to use that paper to make these tags. The paper that you used to cut out your dies. We're going to use that to make the tag. Okay? So, I'm going to get a list of supplies and I'll be right back. Okay. So, we are going to want to create this. A die cutting machine and plates, obviously. Pair of scissors would be helpful here. You're going to want a hole punch and an eyelet setter, some eyelets. You're going to want some dies. Depending upon how big your tag is, you're going to want some little dies, okay? So I've got these. These are like 2-inch dies, okay? And there's some other pieces here that we could use. We could certainly use one of these. These roses will work. The flowers and leaves will work. Some of these little bumblebees would be great. There's another butterfly that we can use. Even shapes like this where we can make like a window, that would work. And like these splatters. Maybe you're making an art journal. Okay? So we're going to get those. Put those over there. I'm going to put these onto the side. And then paper. Okay? This can be like some paper that you're like, that's some ugly stuff, okay? Maybe it's paper like this that you like, but you have pieces like this. Maybe you like the paper, but you got pieces. Maybe it's a book like this where you bought it to do a project and you just have some of it left. And you're like, what am I going to do with this? I don't want to waste this paper, but it's taking up space. Same thing with this one. Maybe it is a hideous piece of paper that you can't stand. That'll work too, okay? And then we're going to want some paper to make tags out of, or, some pre-made tags if you already have those that we can work with that are going to fit in your die cutting machine. I have some of these, some postcards. We're going to do some postcards because I'm going to do this as a journaling card as well. And I have some tags, and these are like vintage French writing just made into tags. I have no idea whose work it is, whose digital it is, or even if it got it from Etsy, it could have been something I got off of a free site as well. But I'm sure that there's plenty of these out there if you wanted to grab some, and they're not that expensive. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these pieces out so that I have them. And when I come back, then we're going to start getting into this, okay? So get your pieces prepped, get your tags prepped. Take your piece of file folder or whatever it is and cut it down to the size, the tag that you want to use that will fit in your machine, or that you can punch on comfortably. And when you got that, turn the video back on and we'll get started. I'll be right back. Okay, so I've cut these out. I only cut out half of each sheet though. So we have some little tags to work with. And some little postcards, and I think we're gonna pull a couple of these. Let's start with these. And we're gonna get a couple of these dies out. Just grab a die. As long as it fits, it's all that matters, okay? And let's do one of these little tag ones too. One of these little card ones. Let's see. I like that one. And that one. See, these have nice big areas on them, so we'll use those. some more dies. I have these musical notes. Haven't even used those yet. We'll cut some of those. Let's do a dragonfly and a leaf. Or a flower. We could do a flower. Do a leaf. And let's see what else. We're going to do this one, so let's do this little postage stamp. Not the tiny one. That one will get out of there. Whew. That little guy was in there tight. See if I can get this little piece off. Okay. So we'll do a new postage stamp thing. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to put these out of the way for the moment, so we don't need them. And then, I don't know, we got to separate this one. Now, when you're picking the cardstock that you're going to use on the back of these, your decorated cardstock, your scrapbook paper, I would suggest that you pick something that's white on the back. That saves you the step of having to add writing space to the back of these, okay? All right. So now, I'm just going to run all of these through the die cutter. Cut these pieces out. And we'll see how they work. Some of these will work and some of them won't. You know, so we'll see. All right. One, two, this one, three, put that on there. On that, and then we'll do this last one. Okay, so now that I have those done, I'm going to get this out of the way, and I'm going to come back, and then we're going to take all these pieces off. I'll be right back. All right, so this is take two, in all fairness, for full disclosure, in cutting out my pieces, because somebody walked through while I was filming and decided to start chatting with me. So, basically, I'm going to pull these out, clean these die cuts up, and then once I have them all out, then I can move on to the next part of this, which is backgrounds. So I'm going to go ahead and clean these up, and once I have them all cleaned up, I'll come back and we'll start working with the backgrounds, okay? I'll be right back. Okay, so now what we're looking for is paper that is white on the back and is at least big enough to cover the entire back of whatever it is we are, we've cut out. And we want it to be something like this. That would not work. You'd have to cover that with something else. Well, I mean, it could. It just looks like it's got a border on it. So that might work. But it doesn't really pop, okay? We want something that's really going to pop. So, let's take a look. I have this. Which I think I'm going to use for this one. And let's see. I have so many scraps in here. I like this. We also have this one, so you can see what's in here. Let's see what we got in scraps. Ooh. Ooh, I really like that. Maybe one of those. That'll really come through. That's good. That pops and it sort of brings this up, but you know what? I want to do this one with a plain piece of paper, and then this one we'll do with just some writing. Okay, so I'm going to do this one with a plain piece so we can all see how that looks too. All right, so I'm going to clear this up, get a piece of plain paper, and I'll be right back. All right, so the next phase for this, we're going to just start gluing some stuff down. Okay, so we're just going to put glue on the back of our front pieces, our covers. And we do want to make sure that we get any of the little pieces that are in here. So the center of the musical notes and things like that. And then we're just going to glue these down. We're going to let them dry. Okay. So I'm going to get all of these glued down, and then when I come back, we will move on to the next step, which, you know, is going to be trimming and inking and all of that stuff. All right, so go ahead and glue all your pieces down, and then when you start the video back up, we'll move on to the next part. All right, I'll be right back. So the next step in the process, obviously, is to trim all of these out. going to go ahead and trim all of my tags and cards off of the cardstock that I put them on. And then I'm going to ink everything. So go ahead and do that. And then when you come back, we'll kind of move on to finishing these up, okay? I'll see you in just a few minutes. Okay, so we have these all inked up. Now, I probably should have inked the inside before I put the backing on, but I forgot. But, you know, from here, we're going to be doing some punching of holes. And we're going to put in some eyelets on these tags. Probably should have done these all at once. But, you know, I never think about those things until I've done something, you know? All right, so now, let's get some eyelets out. Put these on. Or flick them out of the hole, that works too. There we go. There's one. That's two. It's gotta be two, right? Who cares? Now it's on the floor. Okay. Let's see. Put that in there. There we go. That one and this one. Yeah, that's definitely two. Okay. All right, there we go. Now, these, I'm not going to bother, you know, putting anything on the back of them because, again, these were designed to be able to be written on in the back, just the way they are. Again, I should have probably inked these openings, but I didn't think to do that before I backed them. What can I say? So we're going to get some toppers on these and maybe do a little decorating, okay? So I'll be right back. So, now that we've set the eyelets, let me get rid of those. I went and got some crinkle, some wrinkled seam binding that matched the inside colors to kind of help draw those out a little bit. So we've got those, and we're going to put those on. And then, you know, we're going to do a little bit. I got some little pieces here and some stickers and things, and we're going to go ahead and see if we can get some decoration on these. So, go ahead and put our crinkled seam binding on. Our hem tape, seam binding, whatever it is. Whatever you want to call it. Okay. Alright, so there's our little tags and our little journaling cards. And we've got some bits and pieces here. That's one of the die cuts that we cut out of the other pieces. So, we'll just go through and add a little of this and a little of that. And you could put some washi tape or anything else that you want on these. So that you can add them into, a journal. But that's it. That's all I have for you today. If you're new here and you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit the button for me and subscribe. Like me, ring my bell. Share me with all your friends. Let's see, what else? Oh yeah, check out my community tab while you're here. It tells you everything that I got going on in my world. And why not scoot on over to my Facebook group. Take a look at what's going on over there. Until I see you again, stay well, my friends. Bye-bye.